It's April 10th, 2019. Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Tony, and you guys can follow me on Twitter at Tango with Ango. And guys, today we're going to talk about AEW signing a top female talent, and we also got some news on the Dean Ambrose contract situation with WWE, and some details in regards to what AEW has offered him. Trust me, it is big money. You guys don't want to miss it. Now, if you didn't know, on Twitter, AEW recently announced that they have officially signed a top indie star known as Hikaru Shida. And this is an individual who will fit very nicely into AEW and their women's division. If you guys don't know who she is a multi-talented pro wrestler, has won multiple championships throughout her career. And on top of that, she's also a mixed martial artist as well as actress. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about this signing because it may not be a popular name for some of you in the audience, but what you guys need to know about this signing is that AEW is making big strides towards women's wrestling. Now, before we jump into the Dean Ambrose story, I want to kind of elaborate to why this is actually important. Now, as you guys know, women's wrestling has definitely taken over this past year. In fact, we just concluded the first ever women's main event at WrestleMania, which a lot of people have been highly critical of the booking decision. But guys, this is a wonderful thing for AEW because Brandi Rhodes is trying to show people that women's wrestling is in full effect. Now, if you are AEW and you are signing female talent that you don't necessarily know of, then it is your goal to absolutely make sure that people become familiar right away. So this is why on Twitter and social media and Road to Double or Nothing, with these different things that have these different avenues that AEW is going through, you want to pay attention to how much AEW is actually promoting. Now, this seems to be a really good thing because they're taking it serious. They want people to know it's a very, very real thing that they're going to pursue. And now, obviously, we know a little bit about AEW and TV and all this stuff. So, obviously, with AEW really having a major network behind them, they need to go guns blazing. Now, this women's division is getting stacked, and that's the best part. This division is stacked full of female superstars or wrestlers, whatever you want to call them. They are on this roster, and you may have not heard of them. So, this is something that's a little bit different because usually a company like Impact or ROH typically sign a lot of people that came from WWE, and now this is AEW basically saying, hey, we're not going to exclude those people. If they fit in our, vision, we will sign them. But we're also looking for some people that you may not have definitely heard of, but you will definitely appreciate when you see them on television. Now, I commend AEW making signings like this because I think, for one, as a fan, I don't have time to watch every single wrestling product out there. And that's something that I've been trying to do. I try to watch a little bit of everything, but there's not that much time. And because I don't have a lot of time, it's cool to see AEW take that approach and say, listen, there's a lot of talented people out there. Let's bring them in. Let's showcase what they can do. And obviously fans will be the judge of them because obviously the fan reactions will determine how somebody gets pushed. Now, one of the things that's really unique about this signing that you guys need to know as well, it totally fits with AEW's vision with being a sport-centric wrestling show. So I know earlier I referred to them as superstars, and I even had to correct myself because it's so easy to get mixed up with that because for so long WWE has changed the minds of people. At the end of the day, WWE has made everybody believe that they're no longer wrestlers and they are sport entertainers or they are superstars. Now, in this case, AEW refers to them as wrestlers because, well, that's what they are and that's what their product stands for. For people who are excited about AEW, this women's division is going to be very, very interesting. And I hope AEW truly does put the spotlight on them when it comes to television because everything they've been doing with social media and video and all of this hype to go and push these women and introduce them, I feel like AEW really has something special here. So I, for one, truly believe that this is a good move. Now, I want to take a quick break and let you guys know that you have the ability to become a DPW champion. That's right, guys. Here on Destination Pro Wrestling, we've officially launched a new program thanks to YouTube. It's a subscription-based program that gives you extra rewards for clicking subscribe. Now, all you got to do is pay $4.99 a month. I get a kickback out of the $4.99 subscription, but I'm also going to hook you up with big rewards. And with that, we have a huge announcement. It's going to be coming sometime this week, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. For more information, click the link in the description down below. Now let's talk about the Dean Ambrose situation. As you guys know, his WWE contract is officially up, and he chose not to re-sign with WWE. We talked about this previously on the channel, but what you guys need to know going forward is this is actually a really interesting thing. Now, according to multiple reports, this has come out by multiple sources that Dean Ambrose was given a contract offer with WWE, and he decided to not re-sign it. But one of the big things that's coming out of this report is that Dean Ambrose was also offered a yearly contract worth $6 million each year, annually. Now, this is really interesting. I took to Twitter and I told people, I tweeted this out. I basically said, AEW might be fools for throwing millions at superstars and wrestlers. And I totally feel that way. Dean Ambrose is a great talent. I think if he goes to AEW, it's going to be a huge win for AEW. But I also don't think you need to throw $6 million to Dean Ambrose. There's a lot of people out in the market. Your roster is pretty thin. So what's going to really help AEW is using that money and using it towards a lot of up-and-coming people. Now, don't get me wrong. Dean Ambrose has a lot of success in the WWE. Regardless if you truly feel that way or not, he's had success in the company. And obviously now we're going to see AEW try to catapult their brand by using his name. Now, one of the things that has actually come out with this report is that Dean Ambrose has chosen not to sign with AEW and not with WWE. It's being said that he's got a couple independent bookings that he's looking at doing, obviously, so he could stay in tune with wrestling. But right now, he's trying to take a much-needed break from pro wrestling in general. And then within 6 months or so, we'll kind of have a clear idea of where he can go. That also means he is not ruling out WWE. He is possibly staying with WWE. He might sign another contract with WWE. And as you know, with information like this coming out that AEW is offering $6 million, it's going to force WWE to play their cards a little bit differently. So we'll kind of find out a little bit more about what WWE is going to try and offer him specifically to keep him with WWE. But for right now, we're not going to see him on WWE television, and we're not going to see him with AEW. Now, this is really interesting that WWE did go public about his departure. It led everybody to think that he was leaving WWE as a work, and that's actually not been the case. If you didn't know, this past Monday Night Raw, Dean Ambrose was also given a proper send-off after the show, and WWE immediately posted this on Twitter and YouTube and obviously got lots of views. They did millions and millions and millions of views because people care about Dean Ambrose, and whether you're a fan of Dean Ambrose or not, it doesn't change the fact that he was a prominent superstar on WWE. Now, with that, I'm going to let you guys know, if Dean Ambrose does choose to sign with AEW, he's definitely not making a mistake. Money talks. $6 million a year is huge. Obviously, a lighter schedule. There's a lot of benefits to that. But I also feel like AEW shouldn't be spending this kind of money. But look, I'm not going to watch out for their pockets because that doesn't matter. That's their pockets. They can do whatever the hell they want. But as a fan, I just feel like they should put that money towards a lot of superstars, not just one. But guys, you never know. Double or Nothing is happening next month. I'll be in Las Vegas. I'll be covering the event. It's going to be a lot of cool things happening. And I'm excited to see what Dean Ambrose does. If Dean Ambrose does, in fact, leave WWE completely, like he just never comes back to WWE, in the span of this year, and he goes to AEW, it's a good move. If you're Dean Ambrose right now, you can't make a wrong decision. Now, as a fan, I prefer to see him stay with WWE, but I don't mind him going to AEW. I think there's a lot of cool matchups that we can see. Obviously, as far as creative freedom, he might feel a lot better placed on AEW television. But with this TV deal being a very, very big deal, it does not shock me if Dean Ambrose were to, in fact, choose that offer. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below about these two stories. I think I make a lot of great points. I think I put a lot of emphasis on AEW's direction, which is one of the things that we need to discuss on a daily basis, because when I feel like AEW is going the wrong direction as a wrestling company, then I will be vocal about it. But right now, if you're AEW, you're making some very strong moves. I feel like they're all very legitimate. I think they all make a lot of sense. And, especially if they're going for a guy like Dean Ambrose, you really can't go wrong. Especially if you don't hold him onto a leash. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. This is Destination Pro Wrestling. My name is Tony, and I'll see you guys next time.